My dear friends in Christ Jesus, we are in the 22nd Sunday in Ordinary Time. Today's liturgy inviting us to be humble and to welcome the poor. We all know about bamboo tree. We have seen bamboo trees and we see the bamboo trees grow very higher. And also we see we cannot find big branches in the bamboo tree like other trees have. And it has a small shoots here and there. In fact, the big branches will give support for the big tree when the wind blows. But here we find there is no big branches in the bamboo tree. But how it stand very tall, how it not fall down. For that we get to see that when the wind blows, the bamboo trees move according to that wind. And when the wind blows, the bamboo tree bends according to the wind. That is the life lesson we need to take in our life. We need to bend down in certain situations. We need to move according to the situation, and we need to be humble, and we need to cultivate the habit of being humility and the moral values in our life, so that we can welcome our poor in our lives. That is what God is calling us today. Stay humble and to practice the values of humility. In today's first reading, we see the author of the book of Sirach. He says that the greater you are, the more you must humble yourself, so that you will find favor in the sight of the Lord. There is a lot of meaning into this sentence. When does a person being a humble person? When a person has nothing, he will be quiet, he will be silent, and he will not bother about anything, and he will be very sad. But when the person grows richer and he has so much of wealth and possession, when he has authority, he feels that the pride enters his heart, and he says that I am better than anyone else. There is no one is higher than me. When the pride enters, what happens to him? He forgets that God is a greater than anyone else. So he replaces God by his own presence. So the pride blinds the person. So that is what God is telling, that the more you grow higher, stay humble, so that you will find in the favor of the Lord. Then how can we retain this humility? We can retain this humility in two ways. First one is that we need to realize the fact. Realizing the fact means we need to know that whatever we have learned, whatever we have studied, that is only the handful. And whatever we have not learned, whatever we have not studied, that is like a vast like a sea, vast like a sky. So when we realize this fact, then we stay humble and we will follow the virtues of the humility. Second is that we need to compare ourselves with the perfect. For example, if I am a preacher, I need to compare myself with the wise person and won't use a talk for the people. So when I connect my preaching with that wise person, then we'll come to know that my preaching is nothing effective than the wise person's preaching. Then I will stay humble, I will not be proud, and I will practice the values of the humility. That is what God is calling us to practice in our life. In today's gospel, Jesus gives a good example. If you are going for the wedding feast to someone's house, you take the last place, so that the host will come and find you. You are sitting in the last place, and he will tell you, go to the higher place, and he will give you the first place. But if you are taking the first place and being seated there, when the important guest comes, the host will tell you that vacate the place from here and go to the last. So you need to humble yourself. When the person is humble, when the person is practicing humility, he welcomes the poor. But when the person is very rich, when he has ardent desire in his heart, and also he has a passion towards the wealth and the power and the authority, the pride enters his heart, and he never welcomes the poor. So Jesus is telling that you need to welcome the poor. You need to treat them with a mutual understanding, dignity in the society. society, then you are a good person in the society. We can see in the Bible there are so many persons who practice these virtues of the humility and who stayed in the humble. For that we can say that Saint John the Baptist, he says that I am not a higher one, I am not the Messiah, I am not worthy to untie the sandal one who is coming after me. So that is the humility Saint John the Baptist had, and God glorified him. And also we see Mother Mary. Mother Mary was a poor woman, but God chose her. But she did not have that heart that I am the mother of God, everyone should treat me with so much of dignity and so much of power and everything. But she never said anything. She stayed humble. But God glorified her, saying that you are the mother of God, and gave her the queen of the whole universe. So we need to stay the humility. We need to follow the values of the humility, so that we will get the blessing from the Lord. So let us ask ourselves, am I living the values of the humility so that I can welcome the poor? If not, let us ask God's grace to follow the values of the humility, so that we can welcome the poor in our lives, so that we can find favor in the sight of the Lord.